Are you over 50? Tired of staring at the ceiling at 3 in the morning and waking up feeling 10 years older than you are? You've tried cutting coffee, all sorts of supplements and pills, but nothing really sticks. Today you'll see how the right light at the right time can calm your brain, recharge your cells, and help you sleep better and feel younger again, using sunlight as your main tool. In this video, you will learn how sunlight talks to your brain and to your cells, why that matters for sleep, mood, and immune health, what to do on cloudy days or if you live indoors most of the time, why evening screens and room lighting can quietly destroy your night, and when melatonin and infrared devices might help or hurt. Stay with me, and by the end you will have a clear, gentle plan you can start tomorrow morning. A quick note before we dive in. This video is for general information and education only. It is not medical advice. Always talk with your doctor about your own situation, especially if you have eye conditions, sleep disorders, or take regular medication. Now, think of your body as a small village. Every organ and hormone is a villager with its own job. Your circadian rhythm is the town clock in the center. When that clock is on time, everyone works together. You digest food at the right time. Your blood pressure follows a healthy rhythm. You feel sleepy when night comes and alert when morning arrives. When that clock drifts, nothing feels quite right. You may wake up at 3 in the morning, feel heavy during the day, and reach for coffee and sugar just to push through. The main thing that sets this clock is light, especially morning light. In Japan, often called the land of the rising sun, the first light of the day is seen as a fresh start and a source of new energy. As we walk through this video, think of sunlight not just as weather, but as a quiet daily ritual that can reshape how you sleep and how you age. In the back of your eyes, you have special cells that do not care about shapes or colors. They only care about brightness and timing. When you step outside in the morning and look toward the sky, even on a cloudy day, these cells send a strong signal to the master clock in your brain. That signal says, "It is daytime. Start the engines." Your brain then tells your body to raise temperature a little, to wake up your metabolism, and to schedule melatonin for later that night. Melatonin is often called the sleep hormone, but it actually does much more. Your pineal gland releases melatonin into the blood at night, which makes you feel sleepy. At the same time, tiny engines inside your cells, called mitochondria, make their own local melatonin to repair damage and keep energy production clean. When you give your brain a clear light signal in the morning, you support both the timing of night melatonin and the health of those little engines. Here is the simple part. Aim for 10 to 30 minutes of outdoor light within 1 to 2 hours after your natural wake-up time. You do not have to stare at the sun. In fact, you should not. Just be outside, without sunglasses if your eyes tolerate it, and look around at the sky and your environment. A short walk is perfect. If it is very bright, a hat is fine. If the weather is cloudy, you may need a little longer, but the sky is still much brighter than indoor light. You might ask, is light through a window enough? Glass blocks much of the invisible infrared part of sunlight and cuts some of the useful spectrum for your internal clock. Physician and sleep specialist Dr. Roger Sayholt often mentions research showing that hospital patients in beds closer to a window recover and go home sooner than those farther from daylight, most likely because their brains still sense stronger natural light signals. So sitting by a bright window is better than nothing, but stepping outside is far more powerful. Sunlight does more than set your clock. It also talks directly to your mitochondria. Inside these tiny engines, certain parts can absorb red and near-infrared light from the sun. When that happens, they can make more cellular energy and handle stress better. You do not need to know the exact enzyme names to get the benefit. Just remember this picture. Your cells are like small, solar-assisted engines. Daytime light gives them information and energy so that at night they can repair, clean up, and make you more resilient. This has interesting effects on the immune system as well. People who never see real daylight often feel as if every virus knocks them down. Part of that is because their body clock is confused. When your clock is off, immune cells may show up late to infections or overreact at the wrong time. Regular light exposure helps the immune system follow a clear daily rhythm, which may lower the risk or severity of some infections, especially in the darker months. You might be wondering what to do if you live in a place with long winters, or if you leave home in the dark and return in the dark. In that case, a bright white light therapy box can act as a mini sun for your brain. Used early in the day for around 20 minutes, it can support mood and sleep, especially if you get very little natural light. Always talk with your doctor first if you have eye disease, bipolar disorder, or take medication that affects light sensitivity. Light therapy can support you, but it does not replace real daylight. Let us quickly touch on melatonin supplements. A small dose can help in the short term for jet lag or a temporary schedule change, but it is not a magic fix, and it can have side effects like morning grogginess or vivid dreams. If you already use melatonin, talk with your doctor about dose and timing, and focus first on rebuilding your light habits and sleep routine before relying on a pill. Infrared and red light devices are a different tool. Early research suggests they may support skin quality, joint comfort, muscle recovery, and possibly brain health by gently supporting mitochondria and circulation. They are not magic, and they do not replace full-spectrum daylight, but they can be an extra help if they fit your life and budget. If you are curious, I have linked the infrared panel I personally use in the description. It's completely optional. Sunlight itself remains free. Let us talk about cloudy days. Many people give up when the sky turns gray. The truth is that outdoor light on an overcast day is still several times brighter than indoor lighting. Indoors, your brain only ever sees a weak, dim day, so your clock never gets a clear yes or no signal about whether it is really daytime or night. Outside, even under gray clouds, the signal is much stronger. On cloudy days, you may simply need a little more time outdoors, perhaps 15 to 40 minutes instead of 10 to 20. You can combine it with a gentle walk, a phone call with a friend, or a simple breathing practice. Now we move to the evening, where many people quietly undo the work of the day. At night, your brain expects light levels to fall, the way a campfire fades after sunset. Instead, most of us blast our eyes with bright ceiling lights and screens that mimic a small, artificial sunrise. Every time you check a bright phone in bed, your brain gets the message, "Morning is here. Delay melatonin." You do not have to live in darkness, though. Think layers. 2 or 3 hours before your target bedtime. Dim overhead lights and use smaller lamps at eye level or below. Choose warm light instead of cold blue-white tones. If your device has a night mode that makes the screen more amber and less bright, turn it on. Try to end heavy screen use at least an hour before bed. If that is not possible, increase the distance between your eyes and the screen and reduce brightness. What about the bedroom itself? A darker room helps melatonin rise and keeps your sleep deeper. Streetlights, standby lights on devices, and early morning sun can all interfere. You can experiment with a simple eye mask, thicker curtains, or turning off or covering small indicator lights. If you feel unsafe in complete darkness, use a very low, warm nightlight placed low to the ground, away from your eyes. At this point, you might be thinking, this sounds like a lot of effort. Remember that you do not have to get it perfect. Even 1 or 2 changes can shift your sleep. For example, 10 minutes of morning light plus dimmer lights in the last hour of the day can already move your body clock in a healthier direction within a week or 2. Here is how you can put everything together in a simple daily rhythm. In the morning, get outside for light within the first hour or 2 after you wake up. If you happen to be awake around sunrise, that is a nice bonus because the sun at that time contains a lot of gentle, red, and near-infrared light, but it is not required to see benefits. During the day, touch daylight again, even briefly, especially if you work indoors. In the late afternoon or at sunset, look at the changing light for a few minutes to remind your clock where evening lives. At night, treat bright light like caffeine for your eyes. Use less of it and keep it earlier. If you look at healthy older adults in parts of Asia, especially in Japan, you see a very similar pattern. They step outside in the morning, they move their bodies in gentle routines, and they wind the evening down with softer light. What you've just learned is a version of that lifestyle, adapted for modern Western life. When you stack these simple habits, morning light, small daylight breaks, and softer evenings, you give sunlight space to act as real healing input. Especially after 50, this is one of the easiest ways to sleep more deeply and feel a little younger in your own body without adding another pill. That is the real healing power of sunlight behind the title of this video. Sunlight is not a cure for every problem, but it is one of the most underused tools for healthy aging. It supports your body clock, your mitochondria, your mood, your immune system, and your sleep. And you do not have to be perfect to see benefits. You just have to be a little more intentional than the average person. If this video helped you understand your relationship with light in a new way, let me know in the comments. Tell me your age, your country, and how many minutes of real daylight you got today. Your answer might inspire someone else to step outside tomorrow morning and give their cells and their body clock the light they have been missing. And if you'd like more simple, science-backed habits for healthy aging, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next videos. Remember, this video is just a starting point, not personal medical advice. Always check with your doctor if you're unsure what's right for you. Thank you for watching and for taking such good care of your future self.